Good morning, everybody. Good morning, greetings and salutations. Good morning, Rabbit, of course. So good to see you. Good morning, Fed. Wonderful to see you. Cool Gamer, pleasure as always. I hope everybody is doing well this morning. I hope so, because I'm doing well this morning. It's been an interesting week so far. Very interesting week, to say the least. Wow, what a day. All 8 of you wonderful people hanging out and just enjoying the show. Well, I guess we could really get into it because it looks like a mega donor. Oof, mega donors, gotta love those. Gave 1 million to Super PAC backing Nikki Haley. Oof, gotta love those. Gotta love those Super PACs. I saw that this morning. From last night or yesterday, after initially staying out of the 2024 presidential race, billionaire hedge fund manager Ken Griffin has thrown in his support behind Nikki Haley as she takes on Donald Trump for the Republican presidential nomination. Isn't that pretty damned interesting? She made 2 contributions December and January to a super PAC backing Haley's campaign, totaling $5 million. Wow. Jeez, I wish I could get that kind of money just by doing something. How is it that these folks can spend that kind of money on a campaign to get the person that they want in there? Just how does that work? And that's almost all those super PACs. I think maybe that's one of the most frustrating parts I find about the whole politics thing is the amount of money that's spent that could have been used for other things. And that's sort of the way that it goes, though, I guess. And of course, in the Georgia thing, if you aren't following it about these kinds of folks here, well, has this 5 million wasted? Yeah, you could say that, or it's 5 million well spent that this person will be able to put in their coffers to use for something else. Once it's in there, it's sort of theirs to spend as they want. Of course, this is Cori Bush under investigation after hiring her husband as security. Wow. Imagine that. Cori Bush, Democrat, confirmed Tuesday that the Department of Justice is investigating her after spending her campaign money on security services. Well, why is that important? Whatever he thinks of Haley, she ain't going to win. Look, yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, they're going to push for her to win. They're doing everything they can to make sure that Trump doesn't make it. But it is so good to see you, Mass. Really, really good to see you. I thought that was Fedorowski there for a second. Sorry about that. Since before I was sworn into office, I've endured relentless threats to my physical safety and life. And people, don't do that. Any politician or anything like that. Why? Because you don't agree with them. If you don't agree with them, then get the law changed. But going for someone's safety in life is not appropriate. Bush said in remarks on the steps of the U.S. Capitol, as a rank-and-file member of Congress, I'm not entitled to personal protection by the House and instead have to use campaign funds as permissible to retain security services. Bush says she's fully cooperating. The Justice Department has declined to comment, of course, because they're doing an investigation. Whenever you do an investigation, you don't have to comment at any time. St. Louis Democrat says she retained her now husband as part of her security team and claims he is able to provide services at or below market rate. And also then you can sort of keep that campaign money in-house. Congressional ethics rules for members of the House of Representatives permit family members to be paid from campaign funds for bona fide services so long as payments do not exceed fair market value. In addition to the Justice Department investigation, Bush says the Federal Election Commission and the House Committee on Ethics are also reviewing the matter. According to Bush, the Office of Congressional Ethics, oh, geez, that's a lot. That's a mouthful at this time of the morning. That's insane. According to Bush, the staff is staffed by career government employees, found no evidence of wrongdoing in the investigation last year, and voted unanimously to dismiss the case. The investigation came to light on Monday when the House clerk publicly informed lawmakers of a subpoena received by House Sergeant at Arms. Security concerns are front of mind for many lawmakers after January 6th. What does that have to do with it? The Capitol Police investigated more than 8,000 threats against lawmakers, up roughly 5,200 in 2018. Paul Pelosi, from former Speaker of the House, was attacked in a couple's home in 2022, where he was beaten with a hammer and left unconscious in a pool of his own blood by a politically motivated attacker. Guy, from what I remember, he wanted to talk. That's all. He just wanted to talk. There was something really fishy about that one too. I saw that. Hey, good morning, T-Rex. Good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well this morning. Really, really, really good to see you. It is. It's been a while. It's been a while. So yeah, that's people using funds for things that I'd like to hear the whole story though. But of course, I'm sure they will decline to give the whole story. And of course, let's talk about this here. There's another one. Using money for weird things. Anyhow, a federal court declines to revisit a ruling that could weaken the Voting Rights Act. So a federal appeals court has denied a request to revisit a ruling that could undermine a key tool for enforcing Voting Rights Act's protection against racial discrimination in the election process. It's the latest move in Arkansas state legislative redistricting case filed by civil rights groups. Well, no wonder. So what does this have to do with it? LCAO? What is up, brother? How are you doing this time of morning? Yeah, we're talking politics, isn't it insane? The touchy situation you like to stay out of. It's good to see you this morning, brother. I'm glad you could make it this time of morning. Damn it, I still need to get him on here. Damn it. I need to schedule up a time. Our times are so weird. But if you guys haven't checked out LC, and you're new here, LC does a wonderful job of bringing people from all over the world into his chat and just treats them with the utmost respect, and much respect to this man, because he is the things he does for other people that you guys have no idea how gracious he is with his time and energy. And yeah, it's fun. and Henry, oof, Henry is definitely part of the show. Oh my. NPR really wants my money, don't they? Oh, so the 8th U.S. District Court of Appeals released its decision Tuesday after attorneys led the American Civil Liberties Union to appeal the ruling by a 3-panel judge last year. Well, the panel found that the federal law does not allow private groups and individuals who have for decades brought the majority of lawsuits under Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act to sue because the law does not explicitly name them. Only the head of the Justice Department, the panel found, can bring these kinds of lawsuits. Isn't that amazing? The 8th Circuit's majority opinion, U.S. Circuit David Strauss, an appointed former Trump, who also wrote the panel's majority opinion. What does it have to do with who the judge is? I guess it does whenever you're talking politics, because that's what they do. They give well, it's this president or this politician, put them in play. Well, if the seat's open, you got to fill it. 3 judges, however, said they would grant the request for a rehearing, including the Chief Circuit Judge Levinsky Smith, an appointee of Bush, Stephen Colleton, another Bush appointee, and Jane Kelly, who was appointed by Obama. The panel's error is evident, but the court regrettably misses an opportunity to reaffirm its role as dispassionate arbiter of issues. I wish all the courts were dispassionate. That would be nice. Instead of flowing whichever way political winds happen to be swaying. According to the statement released by the ACLU, which is just a bunch of little bastards, the civil rights groups that brought the Arkansas lawsuit are exploring the next legal steps. Well, taking it in front of the Supreme Court. Hooray. Gotta love that. For now, the panel's ruling, which upheld the lower court ruling, the U.S. District Judge Rudofsky, applies only to 7 states in the 8th Circuit, which includes Arkansas, Iowa, Minnesota, Missouri, Nebraska, North Dakota, and South Dakota. Other federal courts, including 5th Circuit Court panel, so you're just giving us like high school lessons in what each court does. I mean, come on. Jeez, is this the level of reporting that NPR gives you? High school stuff that you should already know by the time that you've left, like 8th grade. 8th grade civics would have taught you this. Oh, that's right. We don't teach 8th grade civics anymore. Now it's 8th grade dance theory. Wonder why that is. Wonder why that is. Senate border negotiation forge ahead despite of despite pressure from Trump. Now, this is from a couple of days ago because they're wanting to secure the border. This is a ongoing issue that they've had with Texas. And you notice that after the initial shock and awe that the National Guard was sent to secure the border in between Mexico and the U.S. Of saying, we have no problem with the FBI coming in there or the federal government coming in, cutting wire and letting people in. Doesn't look too good on Biden, of course. And then with Trump comes in and he weighs in on the situation, and all of a sudden it becomes an issue. Wow. But I don't see how Trump is pressuring anybody. For one, he's not in a position to pressure anybody. He's in a civilian position currently. He may be running for president, but he's still just a civilian. So if you're feeling pressure, it makes you worry that, wow, what are they so scared of that this person that is just a citizen has that much pull amongst Republicans and House Republicans? So a bipartisan deal that would pair assistance with Ukraine in Israel. Really, maybe that's what it is. That they sort of shot this down, that House Republicans and House Democrats are having a hard time deciding on the border in Mexico, which is, borders the U.S., to comparing it to Ukraine, which is in Europe. Okay. This is the big disjoint that you run into with politics. It's like, what does Ukraine have to do with Mexico? You have border security. It's all too early for this shit. Yeah, it is too early for this shit. I don't get it. Why does it? Why? Just make it stop the stupidity. Good Lord. One thing has nothing to do with the other, but they're going to make it sound like it has something to do with nothing that it has anything to do with. It's so crazy, so crazy. How about this? I will, because I don't want to talk about that right now. I would much rather show you some physics. There you go. Check this out. This will be interesting to watch. Whenever you see it, you'll see it. Do. Wow. Pretty cool, huh? Go see it again. Yeah. Held with matchsticks using simple physics. That is insane. Absolutely insane. Lefty, what is up? What is going on? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. I hope things are going well for you today. I really do. Because, we wish everybody well. Wish everybody well. Here we go. I got a good one for you. Because, it's much more enjoyable to see these kinds of things here. Looking out and finding good in the world is what I would much rather have. Gotta admit, that's pretty damn awesome. I mean, that's such a great face. Oh, so you like that? So I found this one, which was so heartwarming, so absolute heartwarming that I had to show it. And so this guy is out in his canoe, and or not canoe but kayak. It looks like an open kayak. So check this out.
You need some help? Okay. Well, your dad's back there, but I'm gonna bring you in the shore, okay? I know. Just calm down. Calm down. Just hold my hand. All right. So, no, you can't pull right now. Just hold on a second. I need to get into my dad. Okay, but I'm gonna bring you over to land, okay? All right. So I'm just trying to do this, okay? Can you hold on? Keep holding on like that. Yeah. Okay. All right. Good. How old are you? I can't remember. You can't remember? Are you that old? Are you like 101? 102? I'm young, but I grow up fast. Yeah, kids do grow up fast. Because I have a kid. You want to know how old my son is? He is 6. Good job. Hi. Do you have any talent? Why don't you want to call 911? Are you scared? Yeah.
We had 2 people drowned here in that same spot last year. We're going to get you all fixed.
David, very pleased to meet you. Thank you.
Yeah. Could you imagine your kid falls off the boat and you don't even notice it? Whoa. No, that happened. It was winter and the kid had hypothermia. Like that's trying to get that little guy warmed up. Man, it was a little heartbreaking. So it was the St. Louis River that he fell into. He became separated. His parents' sailboat, according to Jones, was showing signs of hypothermia. Thankfully, he was returned to shore and brought to his parents. So, yeah, that happens quite often. It's not just normal kind of things. Not normal. And there's where is it? Oh yeah, here you go. This is make sure I don't play the music on this because that would be really bad. A second. And here you go. That's some pretty wicked work. people were just kind of neighbors who had beachfront property. Yeah. Yep, that is about right. The artistic ability of some people, this is just amazing. Got the camera movement and everything in there makes it look even much more realistic. Wow. I thought you guys, I find things interesting on the interwebs. I can't help it. Just me. Find some of these things unbelievable. And where is it? No, I'm not going to show that one. Oh, I got one for Baker here. I think Baker would like this one. Make sure the music is not no music. But this I've found where Baker likes to what we call rough it. Better action hero than anything Disney's put out recently. Oh yeah, or the Pasta Phantom. Yeah, Spaghetti Man, or Ramen. Get it? Ramen. I guess that's it could be ramen. There you go. This is Baker out in the wild. I don't understand why you would have pickles out there, but okay. You don't have mountains. This is fake news. That's true. This is whenever he goes to Switzerland. See? I don't know where this is. This is awesome, though. Look at this. That looks very interesting. Dig in. See, I told you it was Baker. You can see him right there out in the wild. I love it. Good to see you, Baker. I hope you're doing well this morning. I hope you are doing well. I hope you're well rested for another day of insanity in the courtroom, because it is absolute insane, the stuff that I've been seeing. Where is something else? I wish I could show that. Nope. I did find Gorlock. I'm not going to show Gorlock, the Destroyer. Where is it? Oh, I did find this, and you have to read the subtext. You have to read the subtext on this one. Give me a second. Okay. I'm gonna need more meat with all that bread. Yeah. Well, a lot of women say that need more meat. So a couple on a safari saw antelope running from a cheetah. The woman said to the man, "If the antelope survives, I will give you a BJ." thought you'd like that one. Hey, Wolfram, good to see you. Good to see you. Oh, yeah, that was. I saw that. Okay. So I saw this one in this can only happen in Australia. Only happens in Australia. Just a heads up. So there may be some music in here, and there could be a little bit of violence. So just keep in mind that this is Australia here.
I was just violently attacked.
By who?
By her. We were just arguing. She used offensive and violent language that violated my rights as an individual.
You all right, love? Keep going. Go. We've zapped 3 of them this morning. They're everywhere today.
I was just violent.
I'm sorry, it might get me in trouble, but that was funny. That was funny. I'm trying to be lighthearted here because sometimes you've got to have a little bit of humor in all of this. Yeah, I can't show that one because that would get me in all kinds of trouble. And I'll show that one later. Okay, so this is our politicians hard at work. Karens are on the loose. I know you have to shock the monkey to slow down the Karen. I was gonna say this is well spent money for politicians. Well spent
We've seen
money.
not just in the Bronx, but across the country. We saw admissions, mental health admissions of children that were highly disruptive. Their ability to be healthy is what can determine whether they show up to school and how well they do in school. On top of that, when we talk about social issues and when people want to critique social inclusion in schools, housing, as you mentioned, is a core underlying factor in how well someone does in school. If you don't have a home or a bed to lay your head on, how are you going to perform well in school? And when we talk about inclusion and those issues, one of the highest rates of childhood homelessness and one of the highest contributors and factors is if they're LGBT. Because if they go home to a place that will kick them out of their house because they are gay or trans or queer, how can we imagine them doing well in school? And so if school isn't safe for them, if home isn't safe for them, and if we allow a culture that continues to marginalize LGBT people to the point that their existence can't even be affirmed in school, how can we expect them to do well? And with that, I yield back.
Thank you. The chair now.
I would be just sitting there scratching my head like, okay, so you're comparing. It's like I have got this big disconnect here. I'm like, what? What are you comparing? What? I just left my head scratching. LBGTQAIMOTPR. Yeah, lower cortex or duplex or something. I don't know what the deal is with her. She can certainly afford to, house some people in her nice, wonderful place. If I'm not mistaken, she's right along with the rest of them. And this is a good thing to. Well, I can't show that, damn it, because the music is going to get me in trouble. I hate it. I really wish I didn't have to show this. So this is a short blurb. Imagine being accused of something so heinous that she's saying, but it's too early for you. You agree with what she's saying, but it's too early for you. Okay. That could happen. Here we go. Long Beach, California.
The people's motion to dismiss this case.
26-year-old Brian Banks needed a moment for the news to sink in. The rape conviction that he was living with for 10 years was overturned by a judge in a matter of minutes. Clasping his hands and shaking with emotion, tears streamed down his face, and he left the courtroom for what he hopes will be the last time.
The people's motion to dismiss.
Yeah. Morning, Young. It's good to see you. Very good to see you this morning. Yeah. Spent 10 years in prison for being falsely accused of the grapey grape. Brian Banks, 6 years in prison in 2012. His conviction was overturned when his accuser confessed that she had fabricated the entire story. That was 2012. That's why you don't falsely accuse people of crap. I did find this will be me in like 20 or 30 years right here.
Thomas, what are you doing? Thomas! Hey, buddy, what are you doing?
No, yes. Hey, JD Starbuck. Have you seen the New Zealand deck commercial? Yes, I have seen that. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. I love that commercial. It is not for the faint of heart. Not for the faint of heart whatsoever. Where is the one I was looking for? Let's see if I can find this particular one. But you have seen the let's see. All right. Yeah, that's an old one. It is a very, very old one, but we'll play the whole thing just for you, Fed. This will a good way to get your the doggy dentures would be in the trash. Yeah. Yeah, they would be in the trash. All right. This is for you. This is for you. The New Zealand deck commercial. Myself find them quite funny, and I hope you do too. Hope you enjoy.
If you're like me, you find it very hard to keep your dick dry. I left my dick unprotected and it was warped out of shape in no time. I could barely recognize my own dick. Imagine that. Then I discovered Schaefer's New Zealand style dick sealant. The best way to take care of your dick in 3 easy steps. First, wash your dick with soap and water. Then wait for your dick to dry. Once your dick is clean and dry, paint your dick with Schaefer's dick sealant. I used to be too embarrassed to invite people over to see my dick. But now...
Oh, did I? That's a very interesting question. Did we finish the Sadie video last night? If not, you would definitely want to see our reaction to the last hour. No, did not see the last bit of it. I think we still have another hour, 20 minutes, something like that to go, which we'll probably end up doing possibly next week, maybe in the middle of the weekend or something. I just have to schedule that up with Mo, because I've got tomorrow I'm doing some more of the Amber Heard, Johnny Depp. It's actually Amber Heard that's on the stand, and I've got Thursday, I've got Solomon, which is going to be coming on. And then I've got Friday, of course, which I don't know. It's just going to be a crazy weekend. But as soon as we do it, we'll get there. Excellent. Yeah, just, keep the little bell rung and we'll let you know. We'll let you know whenever it happens. But there is the commercial that you think is a joke, but apparently it's not. I have to find it. Unicorns and poo. Okay. Yes. It'll be a really good interview. A very good interview with Solomon. He actually popped into chat for a little while yesterday. I don't blame him. He was like, oh, I can't believe you guys are putting yourself through this torture again. But hey, that's how it goes. Oh yeah, it's going to give me a hard time.
Yeah, my dick's the talk of the town. I even have pictures of my dick. Check out that dick. I want to send this to my secretary. Barbara always loves to receive my dick pics. After all, summertime is all about spending time on your dick. I'll often have 20 to 30 people on my dick at once. That can really wear your dick out, causing dick splinters and discoloration. But with Schaefer's dick sealant, my dick stays a nice golden brown colour. Who wouldn't want a golden dick? I used to never let children anywhere near my dick. My dick was too dangerous for kids to play on. But it seems like every kid in the neighbourhood's been on my dick this summer, and they've all had a good time. My dick's over 70 years old, but it looks brand new. That's part of the reason all my neighbours are jealous of my dick. Isn't that right, Jim? Yes, you've got a nice dick, okay? His wife is always on my dick, begging me to know the secret of my perfect dick. If you like Schaefer's dick sealant, check out Schaefer's New Zealand style cock. I had a huge hole in my dick, but I fixed it by jamming some cock in it. You'd be surprised how many things you can fix by jamming cock into them. Have an extra large hole in your dick? Try Schaefer's African style cock. Just go to your local home improvement store and ask for the big black cock. Schaefer's New Zealand style dick sealant. Don't put it on your penis. There's also a helpful number on the back. Hi, I've got a question about my dick. Schaefer's New Zealand style. Hey, get that squirrel off my dick. He knows he's not allowed to come on my dick.
And now, part 2.
Right around the time I turned 40, my dick became soft and spongy, and I never used it anymore. My wife wouldn't even sit on my dick, and the neighbourhood kids would all point and laugh. But that was before I discovered Schaefer's New Zealand style dick hardener from the makers of Schaefer's dick sealant. It keeps your dick nice and hard all year round in 3 simple steps. First, grab a neighbour to help you, because making your dick as hard as a rock can be a 2-man job. Then, rub the dick hardener into your dick, hard and fast. And when you get tired, take a break and watch your neighbour rub your dick. It's fun to watch someone else rub your dick. And finally, simply wait for your dick to get hard while you think about all the fun times you'll have this year on your rock-hard dick. I've rubbed my dick raw with other inferior products, but that won't happen with Schaefer's dick hardener, because Schaefer's is committed to your dick.
Sounds great.
The people at headquarters do nothing but think about dicks all day long. In fact, Schaefer's now has an entire new line of products specifically formulated just for your dick. There's Schaefer's dick paint for when you want to play around with having a different colored dick. And if you want to get rid of your dick entirely and start from scratch, try Schaefer's dick remover. The unique acid formula will melt away your dick on no time. And if you don't think it'll work, ask me mum. She used to have a dick, then she got rid of it when she met Dad. To be honest, I think Dad loved her more when she had a dick. It was enormous. Trust me, I've seen the photos. But most importantly, be on the lookout for the world's
Just
first
stayed a little too long on that stare.
Schaefer's New Zealand style dick sucker. Because why should you pay 2 guys you don't know to show up in a van and suck your dick for you? Now you can suck your own dick. All you want. Hey, why not make yourself some extra money and suck everyone in the neighborhood's dick while you're at it? So join us on social media and tweet us a picture of your dick using the hashtag #ShowUsYourDick. Oh look, we've already got some.
Show us your dicks, big and small. Here at Schaefer's we can take them all. A dick in the front, a dick in the rear. We've serviced dicks our entire career. Schaefer's, it's good for your wood.
Schaefer's New Zealand style dick hardener. It's like Viagra for your dick.
Thank you. All right. Was that enough for you guys? Everybody get a little bit of make sure that you go out and get some of the Dick Hardner. I wouldn't suggest going around, to other people's dick and offering to suck it. Probably get you in trouble. Morning wood. Oh my. No, that's some good stuff. Chuckle. Sorry. Hey, that wasn't just for me. I'm sorry. All right, we will get back to some more of this. Chuckle. Yeah, sorry. Share this tab instead. Okay. Supreme Court is expected to determine whether Trump can keep running for president, and here's why. Wow, wonder why. Denver, U.S. Supreme Court is expected to determine whether former Trump can keep running for the White House. Okay. Okay. Trump on Wednesday appealed a ruling in Colorado that he's ineligible for the presidency because he violated rarely used constitutional prohibition on those who hold office engaging in insurrection. But they're leaving out a bunch of stuff in this whole portion of it. It's because the nation's highest court has never before ruled on Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, adopted in 1868 to prevent Confederates from regaining their former government posts. Whatever the Supreme Court decides applied to Colorado will be applied to all other 49 states, including Maine. Trump remains on the ballot in both states until appeals are done. Imagine that. What is Section 3? Let's make sure that they get the whole thing right and not mislead you. No person shall be senator or representative in Congress. Imagine that. Or elector, or president, and vice president, or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or under any state who has previously taken an oath as a member of Congress or as an officer of the United States or as a member of any state legislature or as an executive or judicial officer of any state. Well, there's the wording right there. All of this right here. All of this right here shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same. And if you read it very closely, it says that president or vice president cannot hold any office whatsoever, civil or military, on the United States or any other state who, now this is where it becomes very important, who, having previously taken an oath as a member of what? Congress, or as an officer of the United States, or as a member of any state legislature, or as an executive or judicial officer of any state. Okay, this is the important language right here. Member of Congress, officer of the United States, member of any state legislature, or as an executive or judicial officer in any state. Does not say anything about president, vice president in this right here. This language here, the bottom part of the language. So first part of it, because it's two parts. First part of it is senator, representative, Congress, elector, president. So no person shall be able to hold that office. And that would be a perfect example of this would be if I was a member of Congress and I was wishing to run for presidency or vice presidency, and I was charged with insurrection, then I would be the one that would get I would fall into this legal realm. Also, if I was an officer of the United States, I would not be able in this. Or if I was a member of a state legislature or executive or a judge working in the judicial system, I wouldn't be able to. And there MG law hits it perfectly. The amendment says what it says, and it does not say president. It does not say president or vice president are included in this. That's the language of it. That's where it falls. Until they change the language, I would suggest that right there is all such bullshit. Tired of this shit. Trump did not ask for an insurrection. Absolutely. Although he had been charged with one, he was never found guilty of it, is the second part of it. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, you're very much right. People who want to say otherwise are awfully quiet about the people who ran their mouths on TV. Yes, there was quite a few people that had what to say. But you also have to remember this. This is also very important. Congress may, by a vote of 2/3 of each house, remove such disability. When he was elected, who said there might be blood in the streets, and to ask for the Electoral College to vote their conscience instead of what people wanted. Exactly. And that person happened to be a senator. And so here's where we get to what does Trump's legal team contend? They say this part of the Constitution wasn't meant to apply to the president. There you go. Notice how it specifically mentions electors, senators, representatives, but not the presidency. It also says those who take an oath to support the United States, but the presidential oath does not use that word. Instead, the Constitution requires presidents to say they will preserve, protect, and defend the document. And finally, Section 3 talks about any officer of the United States, but Trump lawyers argue that language is meant to apply to presidential appointees, such as judges. Yeah. That was enough to convince the initial Denver judge who heard the case to agree it wasn't clear that Section 3 applied to the president, but the judge's decision was reversed by the Colorado Supreme Court. The majority of the state's highest court wrote, President Trump asks us to hold that Section 3 disqualifies every oath-breaking insurrectionist except for the... No, that's not what it says. It doesn't say vice president, it doesn't say president at all. In those at all. What are Trump's team's other arguments? His lawyers contend. And so here's the thing. If they go after Trump in this way, then they should have gone after Pence, because he's his vice president and he's his basically second in command. So he could be charged just the same. Yes, the Democrats were attempting a soft insurrection the entire first year, solid with him in office. They just couldn't get the people behind them, and that's what it was. The president is not an officer. Exactly. Oh yeah, they're gonna. That's their goal, is to bankrupt him as much as possible. They've got a long way to go. Let's put it that way. They've got a long way to go. They're gonna hit him from all sides, and yet he is almost like the Michelin Man and not just dodging those shots. It's like Muhammad Ali, just comes back swinging. They're fine, and you don't have to agree with him. I'm just saying that, agree with that. Being horrible and shitty to people is not gonna end well for you. Be right back. Since you insist on pissing me off this morning, I need coffee. Well, I did say morning whiz and coffee, remember? Mm-hmm. So take that for what it's worth. I'm going to have to get a warm up on my coffee too. Yes. So his lawyers contend the question, who is covered, rarely used, but once obscure clause, is political and cannot be decided by unelected judges. They contend that January 6th was not an insurrection, it wasn't widespread, and it didn't involve large amounts of firearms or any markers of sedition. They say Trump didn't engage in anything that day other than exercising his protected free speech rights. That's what it boils down to. You also have to remember that he exercised his free speech rights and ended up losing a case against E. Jean Carroll. Okay, They don't care. They will continue to come at him. Their final argument is the one that convinced the dissenting, and I would love to see that appeal, because that appeal is going to be insane. Yeah, for all intents and purposes, the president is the executive branch. How could he insurrect himself? Good point. Very good point, Brandon. Their final argument is one that convinced the dissenting three of Colorado's 7 high court justices the ad hoc way of the court went about finding that Trump violated Section 3, in turn violated the former president's due process rights. They contend he was entitled to some structured adversarial legal process rather than a court in Colorado trying to figure out if the Constitution applied to him. It gets that gets the unprecedented nature of the case. Section 3 has rarely been used. After 1872, congressional amnesty excluded most former Confederates from it. The U.S. Supreme Court has never heard such a case. Arguments about legal precedents go back to a sole 1869 opinion from Chief Justice Salmon Chase. Salmon Chase. Wow, that would suck to be called Justice Salmon Chase. God, that's like a tongue twister. Good morning, Brandon. Who was hearing an appeal as a circuit judge rather than for the high court. Trump's critics have filed dozens of lawsuits seeking to disqualify him, and all have failed until Colorado. But that has nothing to do with anything. But they usually fail because the judges dodged the constitutional issue or declared themselves unqualified to rule on them, presuming it takes the case, and every observer expects it will. The Supreme Court does not have much room left to dodge. So, where does this leave us? What will the Supreme Court do and when? Colorado's Republican Party has already appealed the Colorado ruling, so the justices have had time to think about what they'll do. The High Court has dozens of different ways it can rule. It can uphold the Colorado ruling to say Trump is no longer qualified. The court could say Trump is qualified to be president. That would end all Section 3 challenges, including in Maine. And it could dodge by overruling Colorado on a technicality, but the procedures used to get to the case there and set it itself up for another case in the fall, it would say Congress makes the final decision. And that's probably where they should leave it. When the court might rule is just another mystery. In Bush v. Gore, the 2000 case that ended the Florida recount made George Bush president, the court ruled in 3 days. The court could also go slowly and wait until the end of the term on June 30th to rule. Obviously, that could open the door to more chaos and leave it uncertain during the primaries whether Republicans are voting for someone qualified to be president. That's why all parties have sought to expedite appeal, ruling quickly as possible. And I don't know enough about Colorado law or any law at that, but I'm curious if they can just write in Trump on the ballot. Like, you can do a write-in. Like, if they could do a write-in, then, all of this becomes moot. People would just, instead of going and voting for whatever R happens to be up there, they could do a write-in ballot, and you would see how many people actually are wanting him to be elected in Colorado. I think this does a serious injustice to the people of Colorado because they're not given the opportunity if they hold out too long. Aren't Republicans just going to rule for Trump? Not necessarily. The High Court 7 justices were all appointed by Democrats. 6 of the 9 U.S. Supreme Court justices were appointed by Republicans, and 3 of those were by Trump. But the Colorado court split 4-3 on the ruling. The majority quoted a ruling from Neil Gorsuch, one of Trump's conservative Supreme Court appointees. What does it have to do with it? Just because Trump is conservative does not. Oh, there is no write-ins there? Okay. Yeah, see, I don't know enough about it to waste of ink that they would kick it out. Yeah, that's a possibility. When he was federal judge in Colorado, he ruled that the state properly kept a naturalized citizen born in Guyana off the presidential ballot because it didn't meet the constitutional qualifications. Well, that's a little bit different. It's quite a bit different. It does say in the Constitution that you must be a natural born citizen. Yeah, it's as simple as that. And certain age, I mean, there's requirements, and one of them is being a natural born citizen. Democrats have already begun to suggest that Justice Clarence Thomas should recuse himself because his wife. Okay, that's stupid. That sounds a lot like what Biden would say. Because Biden had no love for Clarence Thomas. If you've seen the hearings, they make what was his name? I think it was Gorsh, wasn't it? Yeah, because they all the judges' names blend in with Clarence Thomas whenever he was being appointed as a justice. How hard Biden went after him, and it was just a political witch hunt. Is all that it was. So according, just because Clarence Thomas's wife supports Trump in an effort to overturn his 2020 election loss to President Joe Biden, I don't know. I haven't seen that to be true. Thomas has only recused himself from one other case related to the 2020 election so far. The people trying to disqualify Trump haven't asked him to do so here. Okay. Doesn't matter. Some of the strongest advocates of using Section 3 against Trump have been prominent conservative legal theorists, great, and lawyers who argue that courts have to follow the actual words of the Constitution. They argue there's no wiggle room here. Trump is clearly disqualified. Well, I would love to see a constitutional lawyer say what they need to say. Yeah. Gay. He didn't lose. They checked. Come for me, YouTube. Yeah. There you go. Question of whether Trump is qualified hasn't broken on traditional partisan lines in the legal world, partially because it's a completely new legal ground. It's hard to predict how individual justices will rule based on their ideology. The reason most legal observers expect Trump to win at the high court is because courts are very hesitant to limit voters' choices, even a term for that. The political question whether a legal dispute is better settled by the people the voters have selected to make laws than by unelected judges. If that doesn't happen, some critics warn that Trump's campaign is ended by Section 3, expected to become weaponized in political races. Imagine a world where any political career can end in a moment when a court or election official decides that person engaged in insurrection is what they caution. Unless the high court shuts this down, they warn, Trump may only be the start. What was that? We're riding in Mo in the deep end. Oh, yes, absolutely. Most definitely would want to ride in. And Thomas has more intellect in this pinky than Kagan, Sotomayor, and Jackson have in their entire bodies combined. No lies detected there, MG. No lies detected there. Right in Brandon for press secretary. Damn right. That would be pretty freaking awesome. Right in Brandon for press secretary. Oh, I would love to see that. Oh my. So yeah, that's where we're at with the Supreme Court. Gotta love it. Got to love it. And there's also, speaking of the ballots kind of thing, is there's a little video that I picked up, but I don't think I want to show it. Basically, what it says is Nikki Haley could lose the 2024 Nevada primary to an option for none of these candidates. Registered Republican voters in Nevada can vote in both February 8th caucus, the February 8th caucus, and the February 6th primary, where Haley is running. Without Trump, Haley's main competition is an option for none of these candidates. Clarence Thomas is pretty damn awesome. Like, yeah, if you've ever seen his interaction with people, is absolutely beautiful. They've been trying to unseat Thomas for decades. Remember, they never wanted him in. Oh yeah. Democrats did not like him because he was a black man coming in to what they felt, especially a black conservative man. Ooh, that just went against every grain of their fiber. They were not happy about that whatsoever. That whole hearing was back in what, 80s? I want to say it might have been in 90s. I'm trying to think. It might have been like early 90s. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Yeah, they were trying to get a chick to scream grape. And it was so much different. So much different. And why can't this video be played? Oh, yeah. So there's two Republican presidential candidates in 2024. Races are competing in different nominating contests in Nevada. So it says Trump is in the 8th caucus, which counts towards delegates, and Nikki Haley is in the February 6th primary. So actually, they said that they'll count those in the primary. They kept Bork out of Anita Hill. That's right, Anita Hill. They kept Bork out in the 80s and tried again with Thomas in the 90s. Yeah. Oh, that's right, Anita Hill. That was an interesting one, a very interesting one. But we have, now we go to the front lines of, well, it ain't Mexico, but it sure as hell is close. I mean, it's right next door. Go figure. Ukraine says corrupt officials stole 40 million meant to buy arms for the war with Russia. Really? So in Kiev, or whatever you want to pronounce it, employees from a Ukrainian arms firm conspired with defense ministry officials to embezzle almost 40 million earmarked to buy 100,000 mortar shells for the war with Russia. The SBU said late Saturday that 5 people have been charged, with one person detained while trying to cross the Ukrainian border. If found guilty, they face up to 12 years in prison. Oh, that's nice. The investigation comes as Kyiv, I'm just going to say the K place, attempts to clamp down on a corruption in bid to speed up its membership in the EU and NATO. Officials from both blocs have demanded widespread anti-graft reforms before the K word can join them. What? Quizzes are supposed to be really fun even. I'm going to go all Karen on your ass if you don't make me laugh soon. Okay. I'll make you laugh really soon. I promise. I will make you laugh really soon. We'll find it. Let me see if I could find it here. Don't worry, I will make you laugh. Don't go all man eater on me right now. Oh, what's up, Baker MG? And got to go do chores. Go do some chores there. Wonderful rabbit. It is good to see that you're up and about this morning and doing something useful, because I am completely useless this morning because I didn't have anything funny pulled up here for Eris, and she's about to go all like Silence of the Lambs on me and stuff and throw me into a well. What's going to happen? She's going to throw me in a well, and I'm going to feel the pain. It would not be good. So give me a second. I will find something funny here for you. All right. This is for you, Eris. Just only the music to make it happen. So, of course. Hey, Elsie. Shut my fucking door. Motherfucker. What the hell? Holy crap. I don't know. I don't know what happened. What's going on? All right, here we go. I'll share this tab instead. All right. So this is I found this era. She's looking on her husband's phone for cute pictures of the kids. And what does she find instead? Maybe set up on an LLC and name it Ukraine. Let me hold $1. Would it be gay if I got those skiing hand warmers for cold ass mornings? Oh, Jesus. Bless you if you do. Because I don't know. Hand warmers? It could be. Could it be considered harassment? Is that why she really looked? Well, it's humor. humor. Of course, that's why she really looked. Why wouldn't she look? You know, she was really looking for, though. She was looking for those dick pics, because it's not hard enough. It's not hard enough for her, and she's a little concerned. Just a little concerned. Oh my gosh. Where is the... I'm looking for something right now. Don't mind me. This happens whenever I haven't had enough coffee in the morning. I start looking for things. Holy cow. Oh, this is cool. Guess what? I was able to get Rumble, the whole Rumble browser thing working. I'm completely enjoying that. Holy crap. Because women who need to pick up their man's phone to look at pics just need to get out of that relationship. The trust is gone. Well, no, she wanted to find the cute kid pics. That's what we do. We look for cute kid pics. All right. I did find where they put the artillery shells. This is from the front lines of the Ukraine. Here you go. Yeah, the Rumble browser. I've got the Rumble browser thing. I'll turn off the music so I don't get me in trouble. If you're wondering what this is the only nuclear weapon that was ever launched out of an artillery gun. Yeah. If you're wondering what nuclear war would look like, and this is what is leading to this. You keep playing stupid games, and this is the kind of crap that was going to happen to our country and others, because people cannot contain themselves. It's an amazing amount of damage. An amazing amount of damage. Sarah Connor had her vision. Yep. It's like StreamYard. Rumble, it's like StreamYard is what it is for, how StreamYard works. Except you can get it on Rumble. So you can do your streaming from that. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, that right there is what I fear in happening in our country and around the world. And I think other people might have a little bit of fear for that also. Just saying. But there is some good news because, outside of the, it's available. I think you have to apply for it and then it just shows up randomly. Let me see if I can show you a little bit what it looks like. Rumble. And if you go into your account overview or account options there it is. So if you click on the live streaming portion of it, you can get, I'm trying to see, referrals, chat settings. I saw it yesterday. It's on, it's under the go live portion of it. It's called Rumble Studio. I'll show you what it looks like. And share this tab instead. So this is what it looks like. So you can create a new stream. And of course it has all of your stuff right there. So you've got that on the Rumble. And then you've got like create from a template, or you can create a new stream. But I should be live over there on Rumble right now. Should be, if I'm not mistaken. Should be live on Rumble. I don't know. I've got it minimized over there. Yeah, live chat is up and running. So also on Rumble, I was able to figure out they do have a solid key. Oh, did I not show it? Yeah, that's stupid for me. There it is. Sorry. There's the Rumble Studio. So it has all of this. And then you can create a new stream, create from a template, all that kind of stuff. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I haven't used it yet, just because I want to understand it a little bit more. I might do it like this weekend or something like that. Whenever I'm not man obsession to constantly evolve will be his own undoing. Yeah, there you go. That's about right. You alone today? Yes, it looks like I am alone today. Farrell had to go show up over at Dave's house and go knock on his door, and she'll be waiting for you because it's hers and his three's company too. So bad. Only a few of you might get that reference. The minions got Farrell sick. She's sleeping. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, I could imagine that happening. It's not uncommon to, the littles to do that. Is she I didn't hear from her last night, but I hope she is doing well. And good morning, Debee. Good to see you. And it is a hump day. Damn, that is right. Today is Wednesday. You know what that means? You know what that means for today? It means I will be driving and doing site surveys today. Whew, it's going to be an interesting one. I will not be around a computer for, well, hell, probably until sometime after lunch. Yeah, most likely. And I know that my wife has a hearing today, so she's going to be out and about. And then when I get home sometime in the afternoon, I'll be trying to follow up on whatever emails and crap that I got over the past, 4 or 5 hours that I'm out of office. Hooray. gotta love Wednesday. Yeah. The minions, the work minions. Oh, the work, not her minions. The work minions did it to her. Well, she said it really sucks because, well, never mind. I'm not going to talk about that. she had something to say about work. Holy cow. So what we've got is this the right one? I think it is. And we'll share that. But then here we go. House Republicans voted along party lines after midnight Wednesday to move towards impeaching Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas for willful and systematic refusal to enforce immigration laws as border security becomes a top 2024 election issue. You forgot to get tacos yesterday. I don't stream, stay home and stream. No, that let the lady work like as she wants to. I mean, sometimes tacos are overrated. No. There was so last night was really cool. I had Mo on and we went till just around 10 because I know she had things that she needed to do, so she couldn't be here the whole time. And we went over a lot of the Sadie Shady video. Got through quite a bit of it, even though we just love to stop in the middle of it and chat for a good 15 minutes. Like 5 minutes in, we're chatting away like a couple of schoolgirls. It's horrible. Jude still hasn't changed her name. Well, that's because someone took her name. And besides, how could I never? Then I wouldn't get "Hey Jude" anymore. And won. Oh, did you really? That's awesome. You were in a mood, so you went and played trivia and won. Nice. Yeah, so I joined Gutter Girl. She was doing her stream for getting monetized. So I stopped by there, give her a big kudos, and show her a little bit of love, and then went and watched The Expert a little bit last night. I guess his trivia was over. I didn't say anything in the chat because I didn't want to distract from his stream, and he was going over what's his name, the Vince McMahon, is that right? Yeah, Vince McMahon for the wrestling dude, and they're like weird weird thing going on there. This lawsuit, it's so crazy. So the Homeland Security Committee debated all day Tuesday and went into the night before recommending 2 articles of impeachment against Mayor whatever, to the full House. Rare change against cabinet official unseen in nearly 150 years as Republicans make GOP presidential frontrunner Donald Trump hardline deportation approach to immigration their own. The committee Republicans vote in favor, while Democrats unified against 18 to 15. We cannot allow this man to remain in office any longer, said Chairman Green, Republican from Tennessee. The impeachment articles charge that Mayorkas refused to comply with federal immigration laws amid a record surge of migrants and that he has breached the public trust in his claims to Congress that the U.S.-Mexican border is secure. The full House could vote on Mayorkas' impeachment as soon as next week. If approved, the charges would go to the Senate for a trial. Those senators may first convene a special committee for consideration. With an unusual personal appeal, Mayorkas, who is deep in Senate talks on a border security package, wrote in a letter that here's the problem with their Senate talks on this. We might have to make a roast tonight. I want some carrots and taters. Oh, geez, girl. If you're making a roast, do a Mississippi pot roast. I'm telling you right now, Mississippi pot roast, and you will not be disappointed. If you like the carrots and maters, you do those separate from that, so that way they don't end up all brown and mushy. But yeah, do a Mississippi pot roast. You'd be surprised. Good morning, Farrell. I hope you're doing well. I heard that the minions got you sick and you were sleeping. At least that's what Eris has led us to believe. So I hope you're doing well. Pictures of the roast, or it didn't happen. There you go. There you go. Oh my. So the Biden administration to update the nation's broken and outdated immigration laws for the 21st century. I think the immigration laws are wonderful the way they are. Hey, KLI, good to see you. Burned out your video card. Trying it. I got a new laptop from the old man. Sing to me, my friend. The Twisted Lemmy is just waking from his coma. Well, hey, Jude. How are you? Yes, we should do a roast on stream. Make some drama. I will. It will be at least an 8-hour stream if I do a roast on stream, because you will just be watching it sit and sweat. Oh, that's awesome. It's good to see you, KLI. I'm glad you could make it, Sue. Wonderful to see you. Glad you could make it also. Glad you could be here with us this wonderful morning. So we need a legislative solution, and only Congress can provide it. Mayorkas wrote in the pointed letter to the panel's chairman. The only problem is they're cramming in Ukraine with the border. And whenever you're cramming these two things in together that are not related to each other, it's going to be hard getting it passed. And both Republicans and Democrats are responsible for making these absolutely horrible. You need some tips for cooking venison roast? Well, here's the problem with venison roast, is because it's a much leaner meat. You have to add some fat to it. You can do that by using butter or other kinds of items, but yeah, add some fat to it. It'll help because it needs to get soft and gooey. If not, it ends up being hard and dried out, even if you add just liquid to it. So add some fat to it. That'll help it turn out much better. See, you're doing roast. You know what I did was I do a brisket in the winter. Like, well, in the fall, I'll usually do I'm going to probably do one. So I do have a brisket in the freezer. I may do a brisket, and then I will save about 2 pounds of that brisket, and I'll drop it. I'll cut it up into small pieces after I smoke it, and cut it into small chunks, and make a brisket chili, which is unbelievably delicious. Yeah, the only, even so, like I found this, like doing a Mississippi pot roast, you want to do it with a chuck because it's got more fat. So it'll the fat, whenever it breaks down, leaves it nice and soft and crumbly, and comes in stringy and pulls apart like it's supposed to. If you do like a rump roast with it, what will happen is it's because that's much denser. There's not as much fat in there. Whenever it's done, it'll be really dried out. But if you make a good gravy with it, it's awesome. Yeah, chili is wonderful with venison. I used to have venison all the time. Another thing that you can do is you can soak it in pineapple juice because of the acid in it. So buttermilk works because milk has acid in there. But you can soak it in buttermilk. Also soaking it in pineapple juice helps quite a bit and helps out with the flavor. Yeah, pretty good stuff. Hey, Freight J. Tenderizes it and adds moisture. Oh, there you go. Nice. Yeah. Tenderize it, adds moisture. Kill, I may have a slicey thingy. Oh, look. Yeah. See, I've got to. I still need to do my my jerky because we've got like a quarter of a cow. That, yeah, I made beef stroganoff last night with some beef. That was pretty good. Yeah, red pepper flakes work really well in that. So it's a terrible day for the committee. The Constitution in our great country, says Benny Thompson of Mississippi, the committee's ranking Democrat, referring to Trump's Make America Great Again. Thompson said the impeachment of Secretary Mayorkas is a baseless sham. Yeah, I had a little bit about that. I saw some of that particular story that he was talking about. Where is it? It was Representative Robert. So here's what they believe. They don't understand humor. This is honestly what they believe.
I will not yield. I want to remind the public that Donald Trump and House Republicans also have their own ideas for the border. So let's review the majority's border ideas that they've actually presented. Here they are. Donald Trump actually has said that he wants to build alligator moats along the border. That's one of his incredible ideas. Another idea that Donald Trump has promoted is he actually wants to electrify the border fence and maybe even put some spikes.
That's not a bad idea. I see no lies there.
On the border. That's another Donald Trump and MAGA majority border idea.
That takes so much electricity.
Which I'm not sure how well it would go, is he wants to actually bomb northern Mexico with missiles.
Yeah, they're not seeing the humor in all of this.
It's another Trump idea. And finally, I think one of the ones that I think is the most grotesque is suggestions that instead we should maybe just shoot migrants in the legs as they cross the border. So once again, the Donald Trump and MAGA plan is alligator moats, bombing northern Mexico, shooting migrants in the legs, and electrifying the fence and putting spikes on them. That is the Donald Trump border plan.
I don't see that happening. See, I told you I could give you some humor. Anything is better than what the left wants. Yeah, I see nothing wrong with the electric fences. I mean, that would be quite humorous to watch. But you know, the best way to avoid that, you know, if you're going to be crossing the border, you're worried about that electric fence, is hold hands and make sure that you have the coyote that brought you over at the very end of it. So whenever you grab the electric fence, it just goes straight to him. Watch him just get popped and zapped. Your team, and okay, no capitulating now. You're anti-team MAGA now. Oof. That did it change your mind? Did it change your mind? Makes you want to become anti-team MAGA now? I thought that would help. Trebuchets are important. That's what I'm thinking. Trebuchets. You had me at beer, Eris. Yeah, I do. What I do with mine is I'll do whenever I do it in the crock pot, I'll get two bottles of Guinness, because it's really, you know, gives it that sort of coffee flavor to it. So I'll get a couple of Guinnesses, and also they're really cheap to get also. Pour those in there and add some tomatoes onto the brisket, like a can of diced tomatoes. Add that on top of there and cook it all together. And then use a pressure cooker for doing the beans or the carrots and the stuff. But I don't cook the carrots and potatoes in with it, because they end up just not right. They end up soaking up all the juice and sort of dry out everything, unless you're using like some bone broth or something like that. Yeah, here I go talking about food again. That's me. The package being negotiated by senators with Maracas could emerge as the most consequential bipartisan immigration proposal in a decade. Well, the problem is they're wanting to throw Ukraine in there. Like, we have to. Oh my God, that's the best part. No, it is not. It is not the best part. I'll argue that all day. You can also use coffee if you don't have beer. With this group, I don't think having a beer is a problem. No, not at all. There's no lies detected there. Package being negotiated. Trump, of course, on the campaign trail and in private talks, has tried to squelch the deal. I'd rather have no bill than a bad bill. I see no lies detected there. What's wrong with having a disagreement with the way they want to run things? It makes sense to me that you would say, listen, if you want to throw all of this extra garbage in there about Ukraine, which they tend to leave out here, because the Democrats want to have funds go to Ukraine. We just read what they do with the funds in Ukraine is they basically steal the money and then try to run away with it. Wonderful. Why would you want to support a country that's doing that as they're asking for money? If Congress sends him a bill with emergency authority, I'll shut the border down right now. He'll only shut down the border if you send money to Ukraine. I've done all I can do. Biden told reporters Tuesday before departing for a campaign-related trip to Florida, give me the power through legislation, which he has said is something he's asked from the very day I got in office. From the very day he got in office, he signed, 100 executive orders. Then part of that was to shut down the border, the Keystone Pipeline, and everything else that he possibly could. Do I have a whole lot of love for him? No. But he's still the president of the United States. Wonderful. Representative Elise Stefanik, Republican, New York, a Trump ally often mentioned as a possible VP pick, called it an invasion. So do you think there's a bunch of these Republicans that are just running around and seeing how brown their nose can get by, or do you think they're making it up? I know he already has the authority to shut down the border. He's wanting the money for Ukraine. Jeez, get with the program, man. Come on, man. Get with the program. Republicans contend the Biden administration, Maracas, either got rid of policies in place under Trump, it's true, that had controlled migration, or enacted policies of their own that encouraged migrants from around the world to come to the U.S. illegally via the southern border. No lies detected there. House Speaker Mike Johnson said Biden and Maracas have created a catastrophe on the border, and he criticized the emerging Senate package. The GOP leaders said that the president is now trying to turn the blame back on Congress for failing to update immigration laws. The Republicans also accused Maracas of lying to Congress, pointing to comments about the border being secure or about vetting of Afghans airlifted to the U.S. after the military withdrawal from their country. It's high time for impeachment, said McCall in Texas, the chairman of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, who called Maracas the architect of the border problems. He has what is coming to him. The House impeachment hearings against Maracas sprinted ahead in January, while Republicans' separate impeachment inquiry into Biden over the business dealings over his son, Hunter Biden, have dragged. Democrats argue that Maracas is acting under his legal authorities at the department, and that his criticisms against him do not rise to the level of impeachment. Amazing. So if I'm doing a pressure cooker for a pot roast, beef stock, season the hell out of it, and then you can blend anything that gets mushed up and you have a nice sauce, or just a sub in other vegetables at the end. Yeah, you can always do that. So deer, butter, carrots, onion, celery, taters. Yeah, have the celery in there. Salt, pepper, beef stock, brown sugar. Yeah, dark or light, because it makes a difference in the flavor. I mean, if you're going to add dark brown sugar, you might as well just add molasses to it and, skip it. Molasses works really good for stuff like that. Some thyme. Yeah. Yeah. They will impeach him, but the Senate will never remove. Yeah. No bay leaf. Now, see, I only use a bay leaf if I'm doing it in a pressure cooker. Yeah. They call it something else in Italy. I'm trying to remember what they call it. Oh, they call it salvia, I think. Yeah, they call it salvia in Italy. I'm pretty sure that's right. Can't remember, because they were whenever we were doing like a cooking class, they were going out and trimming the stuff fresh, and it was salvia. I think that's what it was. Republicans don't have the votes to do anything of real consequence. Yeah. Literally just woke up. Well, you rest well. You rest well. It's no worries. House Democrat leader Hakeem Jeffries of New York called the proceedings a political stunt ordered by Trump and Taylor Greene. Okay. I don't think he's in charge of Senate or Congress at all. Okay. I mean, she is, but that's completely different. During the hearing, Robert Garcia of California pointed to Trump's comments echoing a little artist with a funny mustache, that immigrants are poisoning the blood of the U.S. And his proposals. That's not what he said. You're taking out of context what he said. Good Lord. And to his proposals for militarizing the border as extreme, arguing that impeachment proceedings were all about trying to get Donald Trump reelected. Okay, so are you saying that your impeachment hearings are all about keeping him out of office? So what was the deal? Ah, that is right. Yes. Yes, Diva is on with me. Yes, make sure you sub to the Diva. Let's get her to 500. Oh, hey, Judge Maddie. Good to see you. Played all of it. It was hot and on fire. Meow. Judge Maddie playing all the 45s. Debate dragged into the night as Democrats tried and failed to amend the resolution. Maracas never testified on his own behalf during the rushed impeachment proceedings. He and the committee couldn't agree on a date, but in his letter, he drew on his own background as a child brought to the U.S. by his parents fleeing Cuba, and on his career spent prosecuting criminals. Your false accusations do not rattle me and do not divert me from public service, he wrote. Green, the Republican committee chair, disparaged Maracas' letter in 11th hour response to the committee that was inadequate and becoming of a cabinet secretary. It's unclear if Republicans will have the support from the ranks to go through with the impeachment vote in the full House, especially with their slim majority, with Democrats expecting to vote against it. Last year, 8 Republicans voted to shelve the impeachment resolution proposed by Green, blah, 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 blah. And so there's just a bunch of hoopla and nothing to be seen here. But it looks like they've written the articles of impeachment and they've decided on it. But does that mean that they will actually keep him out? Well, I don't know. That's the question. But we're going to play a little bit of laser tag here, if you're ready for it. Here we go. NASA transmits from a video from laser to a cat. Pretty cool, huh? Did this from space. JPL, table mountain transmitter, shot it up the laser into a satellite dish, fired it back down, and then they played with the cat. Pretty cool, huh? Got to love how they do this. Laser demo launched at NASA's cat. There you go. So that was a little bit of comedic relief, as if the rest of it wasn't comedic relief. You've not checked out my playlist, Maddie? I'm all the sads. Oh, you should be all the sads. You should be happy. Don't worry about a thing. Because everything is going to be all right now. So, if you haven't heard about this, let me see if I've got it. And this is for you fine folks that have sleep apnea. Okay. This is for those that might have sleep apnea. The maker of a recalled sleep apnea machine agrees to halt sales in the U.S. So Philips, the company behind the global recall of sleep apnea machines, said Monday it will stop selling devices in the U.S., but will sell them other places under a tentative agreement with regulators that cost the manufacturer nearly $400 million. Device maker Philips has recalled more than 5 million pressurized breathing machines due to risks that the internal foam can break down over time, leading users to inhale tiny particles and fumes while they sleep. Nice. The company first announced the problem in 2021, but efforts to repair or replace the machines have dragged on for years, frustrating patients in the U.S. and other countries. The Dutch manufacturing giant says it has agreed to a consent decree with the Food and Drug Administration and the Department of Justice. The deal has not yet been finalized and will have to be approved by a U.S. judge. Philips executive disclosed the tentative agreement during a quarterly earnings update. Under the agreement, Philips would continue servicing previously sold machines in the U.S., but couldn't sell new ones until it meets the corrective aids laid out by the FDA. Company promised it would put safety and quality at the center of everything we do, a greater level of accountability. Well, that doesn't do you a whole lot of good whenever you're chunking in. You're hungry now, almost hangry. I'm going to be hangry soon. Okay, we'll see you guys going and making the ladies hungry. Gotta give the ladies some meat. They need meat to fill their tummies. The agency said it cannot comment on Philips' announcement until a final agreement is signed. In 2022, the FDA took a rare step of ordering Philips to step up its outreach to customers for the recall. Many recall devices are continuous positive airway pressure or CPAP machines. They force air through a mask. Yeah, we know what CPAP machines do. The untreated sleep apnea can cause people to stop breathing 100 times per night. Yep. On Monday, Philips again appointed a company commission studies. Latest announcements does not resolve 675 personal injury lawsuits filed against the company over the decades. Those cases have been consolidated in a federal court in Pennsylvania. That really sucks. Like, where's the justice for those 675 people that have probably got breathing problems now due to faulty equipment? How would that make you feel? That you could possibly never dance again. Gotta love it. Got to love it. So, I'm going to talk a little bit about about health here. Well, I got a good one for you. You're going to like this. This is a disaster. Many more people would get sick from not having the machines that would use it from using the Phillips machine. I don't know. That I don't know. Could be bad, could be good. The Way I Dance with You. Yep. I know that damn song because of Deadpool. Really? That's funny. I knew that song because it was something I grew up with. Keep shizzy on just to have help here for a minute. Oh, there you go. All right, here we go. So in New York, according to Elon Musk, the first human received an implant from the Neuralink over the weekend. Musk said that the patient received an implant the day prior and was recovering well. Initial results show promising neuron spike detection. The billionaire who co-founded Neuralink did not provide additional details about the patient. When Neuralink announced in September it would begin recruiting people, the company said it was searching for individuals with quadriplegia due to cervical spine cord injury or anamorphic, and I'm not going to even try to say that, lateral sclerosis, commonly known as ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease. Yeah, there's a buddy of mine that his wife passed recently from ALS. He somebody I used to game with way back. He found out, what was it, in 2015? Say that's right. 2015 found out that his wife had ALS, and they were pretty active. Pretty close to retirement, not quite retired, but getting close to retirement. By 2018, she was in a state of affairs where she couldn't even walk. And in 2021, she passed from complications because it causes the lungs not to work, the heart, things like that. But yeah, that was pretty rough. And he was like completely devoted to taking care of her. He ran a computer, he built computers. Like laptops, desktops, all that kind of stuff. Had his own company, and he sold everything off just so he could spend time, take care of her, and give her the best life that he possibly could. Sort of rough, but hey, mom is terminally ill. It hasn't been going well, just getting worse. Sorry to hear that. Really sorry to hear that. And he's ready to tell him to go to bed. There you go. Whew. A billionaire who co-founded Neuralink did not provide additional details about the patient when Neuralink announced in September. Blah, blah, blah. Neuralink is one of the many groups on linking the nervous system to computers. It aimed at helping brain disorders overcome brain injuries and other applications. There's more than 40 brain-computer interface trials underway, according to clinicaltrials.gov. Neuralink reposted Musk's post on Sunday, but did not publish any additional statements acknowledging the human implant. The company did not immediately respond to the AP's request. Neuralink previously announced US FDA had approved its investigation device exemption, so it has to do with the FDA. The agency pointed out they cannot confirm or disclose information about a particular study. Neuralink's device is about the size of a large coin, designed to be implanted in the skull with ultra-thin wires going directly into the brain. And in its September announcement, Neuralink said the wires could be surgically placed in a region of the brain that controls movement and tension. The initial goal of the so-called brain-computer interface gives people the ability to control a computer cursor or keyboard using their thoughts alone. Musk said that the first Neuralink product is called telepathy, which he said will enable users to control their phones or computers just by thinking. That's a scary thought, because the amount of things that I think about on any given day, damn. Sorry to hear that. Really. Staying every minute with her lung and bone meds. Well, except for David, he's fallen in his head too many times, I think. Sorry. Yeah. It's rough. It's rough. I'm gonna sleep shift her for a minute. That's fine. On a separate Monday post on X, the telepathy already read that. It's unclear how well this device or similar interfaces will ultimately work or how safe they might be. Clinical trials are designed to collect data on safety and effectiveness. Who researches brain at Penn State and said that even though Neuralink uses an innovative procedure, robotic surgery, to get the device to the brain, no one has implanted it before in humans and much remains unknown. Brain surgery is not a trivial thing. And so I think we have to be mindful that even though we're using a novel way to implant the device, we don't know if it's truly going to be a safer approach for human patients. She pointed out that Neuralink's competitors plan to use their devices for medical applications only, but Musk has been outspoken and going beyond medicine. For example, Musk has talked about implants for the masses that will allow people to record everything that happens to them and access the information when they want, which may raise red flags for some. We know that he has very bold claims. People not really assessing the strengths and weaknesses of the technology is something that I worry about. Yeah, just imagine using AI from a Neuralink. Ooh, that would be so messed up. First I thought you typed something else in there. I thought you said that's scary given how often you think about having sex with men. I'm so sorry. I misread that. It means it's scary given how often men think about sex. There you go. I read it properly. Sorry, MG. I glanced at it. I was like, why is MG thinking about that? No. See, Farrell does what I saw. Farrell saw it too. Oh my. But never fear, because Musk's troubles never disappear, because oh my gosh, Musk cannot keep Tesla pay package worth more than $55 billion, a judge rules. Go figure. Elon Musk is not entitled to a landmark compensation package awarded by Tesla's board of directors that is potentially worth more than $55 billion, a Delaware judge ruled Tuesday. So now a judge can tell people that they can't have money. Isn't that wonderful? Elon Musk is the ruling chancellor, Kathleen St. McJude McCormick, comes more than 5 years after shareholder lawsuit targeted Musk and directors of the company. They were accused of breaching their duties to the maker of electric vehicles and solar panels, resulting in a waste of corporate assets and unjust enrichment for Musk. Shareholder lawyers argued that the compensation package should be voided because it was dictated by Musk and was the product of a sham negotiations with directors who were not independent of him. They also said it was approved by shareholders who were given misleading and incomplete disclosures in a proxy statement. Amazing how that works. Elon has the lawyers to have that shit overturned. Well, maybe. You'll see. So defense attorneys countered that the pay plan was fairly negotiated by a compensation committee whose members were independent, contained performance milestones so lofty that they were ridiculed by some Wall Street investor and blessed by a shareholder vote that was not even required under Delaware law. They also argued that Musk was not a controlling shareholder because he owned less than 1/3 of the company at the time. An attorney for Musk and other Tesla defendants did not immediately respond to an email seeking comment. Well, that's because they don't have to respond to your bullshittery, AP. But Musk reacted to the ruling on X and never incorporate your company in the state of Delaware. He said, I recommend incorporating Nevada or Texas if you prefer shareholders to decide these kinds of matters. Musk, who as of Tuesday topped Forbes' list of the world's richest people, had earlier this month challenged Tesla's board to come up with a new compensation plan for him that would give him 25% stake in the company. On an earnings call last week, Musk, who currently holds 13%, explained that with a 25% stake, he can't control the company, yet he would have a strong influence. In 2022, Musk denied that he dictated the terms of the compensation package or attended any meetings at which the plan was discussed by the board, its compensation committee, or working group that helped develop it. McCormick determined, however, that because Musk was a controlling shareholder with a potential conflict of interest, the pay package must be subject to a more rigorous standard. What does it matter with what company does? Would be interested to see who appointed that judge to the bench. Yeah, I would too. Yeah, well, he couldn't get out of buying Twitter. Very much, very much. So McCormick, because it's amazing that whenever it happens to be, for example, a Republican or a certain appointed judge, maybe from another era, Biden appointed or anything like that, they'll usually say that. So there's a reason why they haven't included it in there, because it probably would show that he's very politicized. McCormick, not the sea salt, but specifically cited Musk's long business and personal relationships with compensation committee chairman, and I'm not even going to try to say that name, and his fellow committee member, Gracious. That's funny. She also noted, it's a she. There you go. She noted that the working group working on the pay package included General Counsel Todd Moran, who was Musk's former divorce attorney. What does it matter? In fact, Marion was the primary go-between. Musk and the committee is unclear on whose side Marin viewed himself. Yet many of the documents cited by the defendants and proof of the fair process was drafted by Marin. Okay. McCormick concluded the only suitable remedy was for Musk's compensation package to be rescinded. In the final analysis, Musk launched a self-driving process, recalibrated the speed and direction along the way as he saw fit. Yeah, that's part of running your own fucking company. The process arrived at an unfair price, and although this litigation plaintiff requests a recall, and through this litigation plaintiff, okay. The lead attorney for the shareholder plaintiff raised McCormick's decision to reverse the absurdly outside must pay package. The fact that they lost in Delaware court is a jaw dropper, said Wedbush securities analyst Dan, great Dan Ives. So you're just a security analysis. It's unprecedented ruling like this. I think it's going, and investors thought it was just a typical legal noise and nothing was going to come out of about it. The fact that they went head to head with Musk and Tesla and the board voted for this, it's a huge legal decision. During the trial testimony, he downplayed the notion with his friendship with board members. The plan called for Musk to reap billions of Tesla, which is based in Austin, Texas, hit a certain market capitalization and operational milestones. Geez, imagine that. You get rewarded for doing really good and driving your company to do a certain thing. It's amazing that you would get compensation for that. Wow. Might as well just be a union worker, and the compensation is just compensation just for being hired by that specific company. I mean, you could always just do that. Musk, who owned about 22% of Tesla when the plan was approved, would get stock equal to 1% of the outstanding shares at the time of the grant. His interest in the company would grow to about 28% of the company's market capitalization, grew by $600 billion. Each milestone included growing Tesla's market capitalization by $50 billion and meeting aggressive revenue and pre-tax profit growth targets. Musk stood to receive the full benefit of the pay plan only by leading Tesla to a market capitalization and unprecedented revenues and earnings within a decade. That really sucks. So Tesla achieved all 12 market capitalization milestones and 11 operational milestones, providing Musk nearly $28 billion in stock option gains, according to the January Post. The stock option grants are subject to a 5-year holding period, however. The defense attorney Evan Kressler argued that at trial that the compensation package was a high-risk, high-reward deal that benefited not just Musk, but the shareholders. After the plan was implemented, the value of the company climbed from $53 billion to more than $800 billion, having briefly hit the $1 trillion mark. Amazing. Gessler also said Tesla made sure that the $55 billion compensation figure was included in the proxy statement because the company wanted shareholders to know that this was a heart-stopping number that he could earn. So they fully disclosed what he could possibly earn, and this judge did not like it. Probably because that judge didn't make any money and was a short seller. I would imagine that's probably what happened with this person. They lost their ass betting against him. Love it. So what was that? He had to make sure Tesla met certain milestones, and he did. It wasn't just given to him. Exactly. That was earned compensation for a job well done for promoting his company and getting it to the point where it became highly profitable, making shareholders a hell of a lot of money. And then they come and basically slap him down because of that. God, I love these people. Oh, just ridiculous. Just ridiculous, these people. But there is good news on the horizon. There is good news, and that is this right here. Utah is the latest state to ban DEI efforts on campus and in government. Isn't that beautiful? Utah's governor signed a law on Tuesday that makes the state the latest to prohibit diversity training, hiring, and inclusion programs at universities and in state government. This is a beautiful thing. This is a very good thing. Let people earn it by their merit, not by the color of their skin or what, item they have hanging between their legs or lack thereof, or what they have hanging from their chest or lack thereof. Let it be done by the merits. I mean, that's probably a really good fucking idea. The measure signed by Spencer Cox. Why would you have to have a name like that? Republican previously said he supported the idea and cleared the state house and Senate by wide party line majorities. Heading into the final year of his first term, Cox has shifted to the right on diversity, or DEI, after vetoing a ban on trans students playing in girls' sports in 2022. Yeah. Cox signed a bill in 23 regulating discussion of race and religion in public schools. Okay. For example, teaching that anybody can be racist merely because of their race. There you go. That is what you need to ban. This is happening. This happened to a relative. They will reissue everything. Yeah, I hope so. My balls are way bigger than yours. They just happen to be on my chest. I'm not sure about that. Not sure about that. Heading to the final. So he also signed a separate law on Tuesday requiring people to use bathrooms and locker rooms in public schools, government-owned buildings that match the sex they were assigned with at birth. Not a bad idea. Cox previously called requiring employees to sign statements in support of workplace and campus diversity, DEI, awful, bordering on evil. We've been concerned about DEI programs and policies, particularly with hiring practices, and this bill offers a balanced solution. New law will bar universities' government from having offices dedicated to promoting this DEI crap, and it ensures academic freedom on university campuses where all voices will be heard. The bill sponsored the state Senate shortly before the body made the final 23-6 vote in favor last Thursday. Chambers Dems divided, said no, and then the Republicans voted yes. Yeah. So there you go. The measures have heavy focus on higher education, but Republicans are also sponsoring ones that would limit DEI in K through 12, state government, state contracting, pension investments. Some would bar financial institutions from discriminating against people who refuse to participate in DEI programs. Sounds like a plan to me. Like I said, let people earn things on merit, not because of what they have hanging off their chest or between their legs. Meanwhile, Democrats in 9 states have filed at least 20 bills to require or promote DEI initiatives. They include measures to reverse Florida's recent ban on DEI in higher education and measures quite considerations of K through 12 curriculum. And at least they're finally reporting this correctly here, because a year ago they were calling this the what, hate gay bill or some crap like that in Florida, when all it was is DEI stuff. She wants to compare balls. Well, I mean, I am not putting my balls on Farrell's chest, just so you know. You're so late this morning. It's okay. You can be late. Not touching that topic. Okay, you take care. You take care of the bee, and take care of the mom. I hope she gets to feeling better. Gets to get a little bit of rest. Oh yeah, the don't say gay. Yeah. Republican-led Florida and Texas were first to enact broad-based banning of DEI efforts in higher education. Other states include Iowa, Oklahoma have implemented some similar measures. Nice. Oh, for fuck's sake! What? I told you I wasn't gonna put my balls on Farrell's chest to compare them. Just not gonna happen. Which we're gonna just play this morning. Excellent. Take care. Oof. Let's see. So remember, what is good for the goose is not always good for the gander. Hunter Biden's lawyers press for dismissal of gun charges by arguing they are politically motivated. I just shake my head at these people. Hunter Biden asked the judge to dismiss federal gun case against him on Tuesday, arguing it's politically motivated, and key evidence was tested after charges were filed. Key evidence was tested after charges were filed. Key evidence after charges were filed. Okay. Cocaine residue found on the pouch the president's son used to hold his gun was only identified just last year. Okay. After a scuttled plea deal and subsequent indictment, Hunter Biden's defense attorney said in court documents. Okay. Pouch was originally found in a trash can, not tested for fingerprints or to determine how long the residue had been there. It has been in police evidence storage since 2018 and testing it last year to bolster the case as clear evidence in selective prosecution, or maybe they were just holding it, had it wrapped up and nice and tight. That's Hunter Biden. Where would you rather him put his balls? And as you say, she's not answering that. Hunter Biden is above the law, yes. Prosecutors had been ready to strike a plea deal in the case, but Lowry argued that they bowed to political pressure after the agreement hit the skids in court and was publicly pillared by Republicans, including a former president, as a sweetheart deal. Yeah, because it was a sweetheart deal. Prosecutors, meanwhile, have said there's no evidence in the case. It's politically motivated. Of course it is. The strength of the evidence against him is overwhelming. Absolutely. Charges were brought in spite of, not because of, any outside noise made by politicians. They said in court documents this month, Hunter Biden has pleaded not guilty to lying about his drug use in 2018 on a form to buy a gun that he kept for about 11 days. He has acknowledged struggling with an addiction to crack cocaine during that period, but his lawyers have said he didn't break the law and other nonviolent first-time offender would not have been charged. And these are the people that do not want to have firearms, but for them it is okay. Because if it would have been, say Trump Jr., which is a very, very much a Second Amendment, and the 5,000 the number just keeps increasing. Aren't exactly. Like I said, it is politically motivated. Because that's how people are. They are politically motivated. But also you have to recognize that it goes beyond just being politically motivated, that it is actually, illegal. And these are laws that Democrats would pounce on in a heartbeat. And yes, but but they are not charging him with what he should be charged with. Okay, I could buy that. The years-long investigation had looked already wrapped up in a plea deal last year, but the agreement fell apart. Now, President's son is facing a possible trial this year while his father is campaigning for another term. Hunter was indicted in Delaware after the plea deal broke down following a hearing where the judge was supposed to approve it, instead raised a series of questions. Go figure. Judge is looking at it going, what in the hell? What in the hell is going on? What in the hell is going on with these people? Do they not realize that that kind of crap is going to catch up to you? You're going to get your ass in trouble doing stupid things. Do stupid things, you'll win stupid prizes. Jeez Louise. So I did find a story about Valhalla. So, if you're triggered by, veterans, it's got all kinds of bribery and money laundering charges they could hit him with. Yeah. Oh, I know. 10% for the big guy. I did find a very heartwarming story. This is about veterans. So, be prepared to be a little triggered. If you are triggered by veterans or a triggered veteran, seek help. So, transgender veterans sue to have gender affirming surgery covered by Department of Veteran Affairs. I joke not. This world cannot even get any crazier. A group of I'm just going to call them gays. Gay veterans filed a lawsuit Thursday seeking to force Department of Affairs to provide chopping parts off or reattaching parts in weird places. Lawsuit from the, I'm not even going to try that, TAVA. Okay. Seeks to compel the VA to codify its regulations. Verbal assurances the department has made it would begin providing those services. So the surgeries are needed to reduce the risk of suicides, depression, psychological distress for, okay. And this VA will do it. Yeah, this VA will do it. Here's my problem with this. Okay. I'm gonna speak seriously here for a second because, I don't care what you want to call yourself. I don't care. But don't expect me to abide by the same bullshit that you're wanting to promote. I don't have to agree with you, just like you don't have to agree with me on these kinds of things. And I'm looking for something very particular that I saw that really called it out to me, that made me, and it explained it the best way that could be possibly explained. That's what I'm looking for right now. So bear with me. It is a thought that whenever I saw it, it was like, this guy hit it like a nail on the head. And once I find it, I'm gonna show it. So slacking on this. It is, damn, I didn't think it went that far back, but it does. Nope. Here it is. I'm going to share this with you. Tell me that it's not, it doesn't, yes. I shared this the other day, and I'm going to share it again because it's just as important then as it was today.
You assured us that these policies were perfectly safe, as neither yourself nor law enforcement could provide a single example of any trans student assaulting any girl in any bathroom, in any school, in any state, anywhere at all, in fact. But not to worry, since you couldn't locate them, I took the trouble to. See, Loudoun County, Virginia, where last year, under district policy, a trans student was allowed into the women's bathroom where he assaulted a girl. To cover it up, they moved him to another school where he did it again. See, Irvine, California last month, where a trans student entered the women's locker room and flashed the girls there. When they confronted him, he mercilessly beat them. This happened again in Gwinnett County, Georgia. This happened again in Oklahoma City. This happened again in Ohio, where a trans man was allowed to use the locker room where he was arrested for flashing little girls. The judge dropped the charges after he ruled that this man was too fat for them to see anything. Last month, in this city, a man using they, them pronouns in a scene straight out of Silence of the Lambs hunted down and killed a female jogger because he, quote, wanted to look just like her. And before you say that these are anecdotal evidence, just note that in a survey of trans inmates in federal prisons, half were convicted of sexual assault and 90% were convicted of violent crimes, well above the general prison population. Now, it should also be noted that in each of these cases, each of these perpetrators had either changed their pronouns, had undergone transition, or had received gender-affirming therapy and accommodations thereof. Why is this important to note? Probably for the same reason we recognize as a society that you do not affirm that people with anorexia can be healthy in any way. You do not affirm that somebody with schizophrenia is hearing voices. And you do not affirm that somebody in a manic episode is having great ideas. Because when you leave somebody to languish in their false mental state, i.e. men who think they are women, they will inevitably lash out and harm themselves and those around them. Hurt people hurt other people. But I don't want to pretend and have the hubris to think that I'm going to be the one to change your mind. I'm happy to share any and all of these examples with you, but you will most likely leave here tonight believing that men can become women, affirming care works, and that you made the right vote. But you will no longer be able to look into the eyes of your constituents and honestly say that you are unaware of the assaults that inevitably take place when we declare to women, you have no right to privacy. Thank you very much.
Sorry, whenever I first saw that, yeah, boomer, I know, boomer. When I first saw that, it just showed to me, yeah, let that sink in. Yeah. They're not providing help to these veterans that are coming back. They're not. By doing this, they're doing really bad things. Oh, I'm too loud. Sorry, Judge Maddie. It happens. Probably because I stepped away for just a little bit on that. So it could also mean that those veterans do not have to seek this care through private doctors. There's a reason why it's prohibitively expensive, because there's quite a bit to do with the mental state, and a lot of these private people. Oh, just kidding. Sorry. Vets who need real help sit and wait on wait lists for years, while these people will get they'll get affirmations of their delusions. Spokesman for the Department of VA said it does not comment on ongoing litigation. Good, they shouldn't. But pointed to a 21 statements from the VA secretary who said the VA was beginning a years-long rulemaking process that would result in providing those surgeries. And then what happens years later? Seriously, what happens years later whenever that veteran realizes that it was a bad mistake and self-deletes? Can the family come back and sue because you took away daddy? You told daddy he was mommy and daddy couldn't handle it because he had mental issues. He had serious mental issues that you guys didn't look into. Can they come back and sue? No, you can't sue them because they did nothing wrong according to their rules. Just how dangerous do they want to go? How dangerous do they want to go? I mean, they were the ones that were promoting, I have two mommies instead of actually promoting, taking care of what they currently had. It's like nobody cares how many moms you have or any crap like that in the military. I mean, the first thing that they told us whenever we went in there, they asked a show of hands. They said, how many mechanics do we have here? How many soldiers do we have here? How many plumbers, electricians? How many of you are black? How many of you are white? And then we were told, no, none of that exists anymore. Every single one of you are green. That man standing next to you is your brother in arms, constantly, always, and forever. You got his back, he's got your back. That's how it works. You're all equal. You're all garbage. You're all trash. There's nothing more to you than that. And then you spend the next 8 weeks, for me it was 8, just because we had a break in the middle of it. It was really freaking weird because it was around the holidays. Spend the next bit going through basic training and having them like destroy every bit of self-worth that you have. And in the end, you come out a little bit stronger because of it. But with these people, yeah, I feel for them. The veterans first petition for the rule in 2016. Since then, the VA has held hearings, prepared multiple proposed rules for cost-benefit analysis. Yeah, so horrible. So here's the thing that they forget is they're misconstruing this right here, this line that says from Eschler, I get phone calls from veterans who are so in crisis that they're calling us because they can't handle it anymore and they're wanting to go self-delete. But what they're leaving out is this right here. Because real vets who need help don't get help. And that right there, what Eschler said is true. There's vets calling all the time. And it has nothing to do with chopping parts off. The association said there are approximately 150,000 living veterans that are they're gay. Cool. And at least 10,000 that receive some sort of care through the VA. Natalie Kastner, a 39-year-old disabled veteran from Texas, said she went to the VA in 2022 seeking surgery when doctors there denied her request. Says she took a knife. You wait for an appointment. Once you finally get that, they deny you their care you need, and you wait and wait for an appeal, and you wait and wait for a hearing. And here's the thing. Why are we obliged to help people do this? And here's the thing. This person took a knife and attempted self-castration. This dude, a 39-year-old, attempted self-castration. Do you think maybe there's something else going on there? There might just be something else going on. I did not go to that bathroom looking to delete myself. I went into that bathroom looking to fix myself. Like I said, there's other issues going on, and affirming someone's craziness does not help. So what happens whenever they decide that this didn't solve their problem? whenever they get looked at a little odd because, well, we're supposed to affirm that also because you don't want to buy into their bullshit. Sorry. Ether says that hopes the lawsuits will standardize the care for veterans. Well, no, you need different care. He should be in an institution. Absolutely should be an institution. So what they're saying is if I come to MG and tell him that I'm Napoleon and that I'm the ruler of the world, or I'm Jesus Christ, that, you know, that he should bow down to me, that he has to. I mean, that's what they're telling these people. Be fucking crazy. It's okay to be nuts. Which I agree, it is okay if you want to be nuts, but, you know, if you want to chop your junk off, then go seek help. I got nothing for you outside of that. Because, of course, it's going to be coming down to being your parents' fault, I'm sure, that this didn't happen. Can't be nuts when you got no nuts. Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you feel someone else's. All right, here we go. So, counselor says parents chose work over taking care of teen before Michigan school shooting. Yeah. A counselor testified Monday that he was caught off guard when the parents of a teenage Michigan refused to voluntarily take the boy home from school when confronted with a violent drawing. And you need to watch this trial. If you get a chance today, watch part of this trial, and especially go back with this school counselor that said, why didn't you have them removed? Because they didn't voluntarily take the child out of the care because they said everything was going to be fine. This is from the counselor. Sean Hopkins said Oxford High School didn't demand Ethan Crumbley go home. Why? Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they demand it? It seems to me like the school doesn't want to be held responsible. Yeah, the trial is a sham. Yeah, it is an absolute sham. But it's the parents' fault. It's parents' fault, of course, that their child went and did all these things. It's no different than if your child goes and drinks toilet bowl cleaner. 18, 19 years old, goes and drinks toilet bowl cleaner. It's got to be the parents' fault too. 16, 17, you're part of the responsibility. When does the responsibility end for taking responsibility for one's own self? I mean, yeah, nobody saw this coming. No, the parents had to know. The parents saw this coming. They enabled it. I didn't feel like it was going to be an absolute. So he offered multiple pages listing mental health providers in the area and urged James and Crumbley to seek help for their son as soon as possible. Okay. It wasn't possible that day. So what does that matter? How were they supposed to know that their child was going to do this? Yeah. Child is being held responsible. We know the child is being held responsible, but they're wanting to extend this out to the parents. This is the same bullshit that they pulled with Alex Jones. Same exact bullshit that they pulled with him, making him responsible for the deaths because that somebody else created at Sandy Hook. Wonderful, huh? I didn't feel as if it was going to be an absolute nose, Hopkins said of the prospect of the Crumbleys leaving campus with the 15-year-old after meeting about a drawing, but made it quite clear that it wasn't possible to do it that day. They had to return to work and were unable to do it. Okay. See nothing wrong there. Hopkins was called to testify about the events that happened when this attack. Crucial meetings, checked Ethan's backpack no one checked Ethan's backpack. Well, it sounds to me like maybe the school should have checked his backpack. Oh, wow. Nobody thought he was going to do something like this. Why would they check the backpack? Well, why would the parents check the backpack? They have no idea what in the hell is going on with that. Jennifer Crumbly, 45, is charged with involuntary manslaughter. Prosecutors say she and her husband were grossly negligent and could have prevented the tragedy if they had tended to their son's mental health. Yeah. And for Alex, just questioning what happened. Right. And he actually came back and said, yeah, everything that I found out about this, it's, he had people on that were denying it, and he came back and said, no, I disavow that. So Jennifer it will stand trial in March. The couple are the first parents in the U.S. to be charged with, they're being charged with a mass shooting. That is simple as that. They're being charged with a mass shooting. Yeah, they were trying to deal with his mental health. Exactly. And so every time I see this, they're charging the parents in this. And that's, I don't know, that would be pretty much where I would stand with it. Hopkins, who was a counselor to 400 students at Oxford, said some were stressed out in the fall of 21 when the government lockdowns were in its second year. We saw a lot of depression, anxiety, and students struggling. We saw self-deleting ideation, and unfortunately some attempts. Amazing how that happens. Mental health, whenever you take away social structures from people. Amazing how that happens. I wonder why it is that homeschool students don't seem to have this problem. Why is it that it only happens in public schools? As I would think that being, away from, a group of people for a period of time, what could it be? What could be the contributing factor here? Because, homeschool students are at home. They're not in a school classroom. So, because they're not idiots. Yeah, her defense isn't doing her any favors. Yeah, I agree with that. Her defense is not doing her any favors. I mean, maybe because parents aren't paying enough attention to their children to know that they're in crisis. Overall, it happens. And our society doesn't help out a whole lot with that kind of bullshit. Hopkins said he was focused on Ethan's well-being. Yeah, sure he was. Earlier that fall, school staff had expressed concerns about based partly on his writing. His teacher said the shooter was also looking up bullets on his phone the day before the shooting. On the day of the attack, he drew images on a math assignment, said the words, "The thoughts won't stop. Help me." If a teacher discovered this and I discovered something like this, I'd be having a serious sit down. She did listen to me yesterday, though. Okay. Yes, lack of mental health care. I asked some questions for the witness yesterday immediately after the lawyer asked him. Yeah. Like it was a little bit of an inconvenience to be there. Well, it is, because they're trying to, keep their fucking job. And you're saying you're not being stressing enough. No, you need to take your child home. If they would have done that, I guarantee the Crumblies probably would have been like, what in the hell's going on? But oh no, because they've got to be socially conscious of all their little bullshit, they would much rather have a guy going into a girl's restroom than actually step up and say, listen, this is wrong and something's wrong with your child. We don't know what it is, but this is what we're finding out. It's more than just needs a little bit of help. You need to have him removed from school, or we will remove him from school. If you come in there and you're not making a stance because you want to be some mamby-pamby little pussy, then this kind of shit is going to happen. Fucking bastards. Sorry, I'm a little worked up. Maybe less coffee in the morning. They said the meeting lasted roughly 12 minutes, ended fairly abruptly. Hopkins handed Ethan a pass to return to class and told him, I cared about him. Oh, wonderful. So what? We drew guns and looked at bullets and guns at school. We made guns out of folded paper. None of us shot up the school. Exactly. On cross-examination, Hopkins said he would have taken different actions if he had thought Ethan was going to be a threat to others. So you don't think he's going to be a threat to others. The parents don't think he's going to be a threat to others. Well, clearly, the parents did this. Jesus. Before going home for the day, jurors saw a police video of Jennifer and James Crumbly briefly visiting with their son. Following his arrest, he repeatedly asked him why, while his father told him, I love you, I love you, I love you, as they left. The operator of the Oxford area horse stable testified about a relationship with Crumbly and serial messages they exchanged. Day of the shooting, before the parents' capture, the Crumbleys owned 2 horses, and prosecutors have tried to show that they cared more for the animals than their son. That's such garbage right there. I keep saying the school couldn't do enough because the parents didn't tell them pieces, i.e. they own guns. Yesterday, the school had to admit they didn't give the parents all of the pieces either. Exactly. Jennifer Crumbly said she needed to raise cash after the shooting and was willing to sell a horse Billy for $5,000 plus a saddle and other gear for $800. She promised liver medication for the horse's foot disorder. I wish we had warnings. I'm glad Billy's good. Kills me to sell him. Okay, that's weird. So weird. Yeah, I got nothing for you on that. That's so depressing. From gender affirming care. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. That these parents are going to be slammed around, and of course, the way that media is displaying it makes it even worse than that. But here, I'll give you something interesting to look at. Because physics are awesome. Physics are awesome. Present share screen right here. Yeah, this will lighten up your day. Give you something pretty to look at. It's good seeing all of you fine folks today. It really is. Today is going to be a wonderful day. It's going to be better than yesterday, and tomorrow will be even better than that, and so on and so forth. So what? He drew guns, looked at bullets. Oh my. And you know what time it is? And I'll end this here shortly with sending all of you fine folks over to go check out a wonderful, wonderful person today, which would be Mo. Go say hi to Mo, show her love, and give her some well-deserved attention. She's wonderful people, glorious people, and enjoy your day. Be kind to one another, and peace, y'all.